Hey, what's up everybody, BDF 44 coming at you another video. I just wanted to capture it. It's crazy. Got a van like that too. But yeah, the whole thing is just grown around it. Talk about abandoned. That's wild, right? Anyway, just walking down a different direction, going a little further than I normally do, in the opposite direction, just trying to survey everything there is to see in the neighborhood. And just kind of awesome, to be honest with you, man. I feel so much peace every day I'm doing this now. I know I'm not home, so to speak. This ain't my hood, so to speak, but I feel good, man. I feel like the Lord is taking every step with me. And every day it just gets easier to walk and be in the presence of others. And that's what I've been hoping for. It's just conditioning of the mind. It got to a point where I was sitting in the house listening to the last video I did thinking, man, I'm ready to be out now. Like, it's just amazing how quickly you can change your mind when you put your mind on the Lord and then it welcome into your heart the truth, which is that you don't know what comes with what. Then you allow yourself to do the things you never allowed yourself to do before that may be better for you. And that's what this is for me, man. Getting out, walking around, just seeing the neighborhood. I don't know where I'm gonna be next week, you know, like literally. So I want to spend the last week here enjoying what it is that I depraved myself of. This is life. And I don't know what the Lord has planned, obviously, but I know one thing that he's put in my heart is to not think twice about leaving the house right now or about idle time spent walking aimlessly. I said a big prayer about all of the things that I need to do, that I just am not conditioned to do, all the different hard things that are difficult for me, but maybe not difficult for you if you're a bit more educated or a bit more used to doing things the better ways than I am. And I said, Lord, you know, I don't want to waste idle time. I got 6 days before the sheriffs show up. I need to find a place to stay, or I need to get stuff sold. I need to get stuff moved. And in prayer, the Lord just told me, he's like, look, man, more or less it came to me like this. I want you to just enjoy your time. I got all that settled for you, and the clarity that you're going to receive from walking outside is going to ultimately propel you to be able to do all the things that you need to do and to be able to absorb whatever it is that I want you to absorb. I don't want you to think too much about doing too much. I want you to think about being outside, because that's ultimately what is most important for you. And so that's what came to me. Be outside. Go out. Walk. Be where you are often not. And let those ideas that you need come to you when you do that. When you go outside, you're going to have so much more clarity, so much more confidence, just from the oxygen that you're going to breathe from being outside, just from the confidence that you're going to gain from not doing things the same way. And that's what the Lord is telling me. Walk. Walk. Don't worry about idle time. There's nothing idle about walking with God. There's nothing idle about getting outside, doing what it is you're afraid to do. There's nothing idle about surveying the world around you and gaining ideas from others. Getting a little further away from your comfort zone is mostly important for me. He go find me a place to stay. There are going to be opportunities, whatever he says. But at the end of the day, if I really want to get better, it starts with this first, and everything else trickles from there. And that's what he's telling me. That's the energy that's coming to me. Just walking down Inglewood Avenue, you know, very cognizant of the fact that there are more things that need to be done, but also cognizant of the fact that if I would have tried to do them in the house, I probably would have just gotten frustrated and went to negativity like I always do, because that's what my brain does when I have to apply for certain things and get online and deal with, you know, the algorithms of technology at times that don't come naturally to me. I just get frustrated and I end up going to negative spaces. That is not possible when I'm putting a drop in the bucket in regards to my mental health in this way. That doesn't happen when I get outside and see others and smile at others. For all I know, the answers to my problems are going to be outside. You know, that's what the Lord has helped me understand. It's like, you can apply for whatever you want to apply for, but there's so much more I can bring to you when you're out and about. I can bring you a person that may have an answer for you. I can bring you just like when you ran into that U-Haul place. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen unless I'm doing this. And so it's just walk in a different direction. You never know what you're going to come across. You never know if you'll see a for sale sign or something that you need. You know, and so that's what the Lord is helping me understand. It's like, whatever my concerns are about wasting my time, he wants me to believe that there's never wasted time. When I first said a prayer about not wasting time, and then proceed to do what it is he tells me to do, which is get outside and walk around. It's like that's the only thing you really need to really worry about, is because at the end of the day, your responsibilities, a lot of what it is that you have on tab is outside of your control. Essentially what's going on with me, I need favor. I need some things, I need luck to fix my situation, not necessarily effort. You know, I've already called 9 to 10 places. None of them have called me back. By the way, that's something that I may not have said. All those numbers I called in regards to HUD, all those listings, none of them, not a single one, have called me back. I was able to speak to some people, a couple guys, initially when I called, and they basically told me that they were full, they were expecting to be full, but you know, it's so much, it's not speaking to them not doing their job. It speaks to them having too much on their plate. They can't get back to people because there's too much homelessness in this state. So essentially what the Lord is telling me is whatever it is that I'm trying to accomplish, it's going to be his favor that ultimately provides me that favor, that what I need. It's not going to be simply effort, but the effort that he wants me to put into right now is getting used to being out and about, be used to be outside, get used to walking every day for 2 hours, no matter where you're going to be, because that's the conditioning that is most important for me specifically, regardless of whether or not I have this or that. My problem was not being comfortable leaving the house, feeling stuck in the house to the point where I was depraving myself for things that I really needed, that I really wanted, just so I could stay true to that. And so I need mental health help, and this is the help I can provide myself. And so that's what the Lord wants me to understand. He's like, look, because everything else you need, everything else, all of the other things that you need, you can pretty much get. The thing that you need to overcome the most was the ability to move around on your own, the ability to stretch your wings out on your own, the ability to feel like a man who can roam once again. Everything else, including money, can be obtained. If I don't fix this, all I'm gonna want to do is continue to do more of the same when I get to the next place. And that is ultimately the key to my situation. You know, the key to it is not ever wanting isolation, not ever allowing myself to feel like I can't go walk down the street again, or I can't, you know, take life by the horns in whatever way the Lord wants me to. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm telling myself. That's what I truly believe. It ain't about doing anything other than exactly what the Lord has put in my heart to do. And what he put in my heart to do is walk this way, talk this way, just like the song said. It's exactly what he's put in my heart to do. And I hope it leads to me having the courage to get back in the house and maybe do what it is that I think I should. But even not, you know, even not, I'll still be that much more peaceful and that much more healthy for this type of exercise, both mentally and physically. And you know, we're doing our June gloom thing. It's definitely June gloom time, but I tell you, man, when I look back on my life, I'm telling you guys something that I think will probably not seem normal to most people, but this by far has been one of my favorite weeks of living. By far. I ain't gonna say it's the best week of my life, because that's not respecting the circumstances. It's not respecting the circumstances. To say this is the best week of my life, I'm going through heck. So ain't no way this is the best week of my life. But this has been one of my favorite weeks of my life. The last 7 days have been pleasantly slow, given what I got going on. You don't want time to speed up on you. You don't want to feel like time is racing for you to be, you know, facing the worst of situations. It's felt like the opposite. Every day has felt like 3 days. Every step has felt like a breath of fresh air in the right direction. Every bit of what it is that I've been struggling with inside of me, wanting to keep from doing certain things that need to be done, it's just getting easier to rebuke all of that and pray the right prayers. I've abstained from lust in ways that I never intended to in life, and it's made it so that each day it gets easier to do so. Each day I'm not as uncomfortable living like that, and each day I feel like the Lord is pleased with that, even if I'm not necessarily. But it's one of those situations where it's like, this is one of my favorite weeks because I've gained so much in my character. Helped me, I made massive breakthroughs in regards to how I was viewing what it is I deserve and who should be helping me. And as a result, I went inward to blame myself properly, with balance, to say that I don't want to punish myself unnecessarily like the enemy wants me to, but to more or less put drops in the bucket to say I want to do better and then do better. And that helped me, that accountability helped me have better relationships in my life with my family, helped me break away from circumstances or mindsets that have otherwise kept me in feeling like people should be here when they don't necessarily have the time, or it ain't in their heart to do. All these different things have liberated me from things that otherwise make me angry, liberating me from things that otherwise make me worse. And all in a matter of 7 days, from somebody giving me horrible news that I've been dreading for the last 2 months, for which I don't have to worry about no more, because now it's already come to pass. So that's another reason why it's one of my favorite weeks, because I have certainty in regards to my court situation. That last 2 months, dreading that, and then having them come around and say that they dismissed the case, only to have them file it like 2 weeks later, that was so much hell for me, so much hell, that I don't have to worry about right now, because now the court thing is behind me. We know I'm out of there. You know what I mean? So this certainty provides me a bit of clarity that I otherwise wouldn't have had if I was still in that space. Not to mention what it forces me to do, which is get out of place, which is necessary. So I'm telling y'all, man, everything in my body feels excited about who I'm going to become going forward. Every bit of myself feels like I'm more equipped to let go of things than I ever would have been before, more equipped to welcome things in my life that I never went before, and the confidence to know that where I'm at in regards to not is something that I'm working towards being able to, and can feel that increase upon my willingness to let go with every step I'm taking in the direction I'm walking. It just feels like it's getting easier to have to accept, okay, maybe you have to move out of sea. Maybe you have to get back into security. It gets easier with the closer I get to God. And then there's that one factor in the midst of all of it to say, I have already done a lot that would help build what it is that I ultimately am dreaming of. This channel and all other things, the Apple stuff, I know y'all sick of hearing about it, but everything I've already done works that allow me to be proud of who it is I'm becoming, and have hope that things can jump rather quickly. That I could be in a situation that's humble, and then because of all that I've been doing within a matter of a short time, could find myself in a position of strength, financially strength, to where I have my voice being known more. At any moment this thing can go in a better direction from what it is that I've been putting into it already over the last 3 years. My art could all be marketed, could turn my situation around quickly, and that in the presence of these struggles, God, I hate when that happens, it gets lost for me. It gets really lost in the presence of having to deal with the troubles. It's like I'm still working on these things, and it doesn't feel like I am. But to say that it's a distant truth that isn't real to me, despite continuing to do it, if that makes any sense. It's like, yeah, I'm working on my playlist, but I don't expect it to do nothing. Yeah, I'm working on my channel, but it don't even feel like I'm doing it. You know, it's such second nature to do these things. I'm building effortlessly, essentially what I'm saying to you. You know, building effortlessly without any expectations to do anything but other make myself feel better about it. And because of it, you guys are getting everything that I got. You're getting it. It's all coming to you without any filter, without any strain for me to continue to bring the content. I guess that's what I'm saying. It's not anything for me to continue to do this, no matter what, so long as I'm able to pay that cell phone bill and keep in touch with all the different outlets that are available to me to talk basketball and all of that. So, you know, essentially what I'm saying is, I'm very optimistic that when the Lord is done working on my character, He'll send me into a position where I can be happy about those things a little more than I am right now. Whether it be putting me in a position to be wealthy as I would like to be, or just being a little bit better at what it is that I do, and being able to welcome success in some ways that maybe I would not be ready for right now. So that's what I'm here to tell you guys. It gets better. I feel like it's getting better. And, you know, I have nothing to really be ashamed of in that way, I don't think. And that's what's most important. It was a lot of years where I felt like I did, where I was doing what I was doing in the shadows. I think that's what I need to tell people, like making playlists for myself. I made so many playlists called My List before I met Karen and before I met Delicia. I was making playlists for my own self that weren't really good, honestly. I was just slapping music together, but I was doing it anyway because I had gotten used to making them for Mother. And so, of course, she got sick and I stopped making them for her. So I was just making them for myself to go to work, and it was like, this is empty. I loved what I do. I've been making playlists and burn CDs since I was since I was capable of doing it, since I first got my first computer, I was burning CDs and putting music together. Even before that, actually, when I was taping music videos, it was similar, more or less. So like, this is what I've been doing all my life. It's what I should have been known for all my life. And now, let me get this nastiness off of my mouth, I'm able to share it with others. And that newfound confidence, so to speak, has put me in a real advantageous position to see that I can build in other areas. This is why I have the confidence I can pull myself out of pretty much anything, because I've already done so in other areas. I've already put myself in a position in other areas to see that. So with being able to see that, I don't find myself wondering of whether or not I can pull myself out of this, or whether or not I'm strong enough to take on things that I don't feel I'm not that strong about right now. Because I've already seen myself do it in other areas. It's already proven. And so that's what I'm here to tell you guys, man. We can work on these weaknesses because of things that we've already accomplished in life. So start the process of trying to accomplish what you need to, so that you can have that drop in the bucket when it's time to do other things. You know, because it was a hurdle for me to start sharing my playlist. It was a hurdle for me to start, you know, getting on here and doing this channel. I mean, that was a real nervous moment when I first made my first video. And I honestly didn't believe any of the stuff that I was saying when I was recording, telling y'all that I was gonna keep doing it. I thought I was lying. I didn't think I would do another video. I was like, yeah, let's see how this journey goes. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna have the confidence to even upload this thing when I stop hitting this, doing the video. I thought I wasn't gonna upload it. But I did upload it, and I came back, did it again, came back, did it again. Look up, 3 years later, probably like 4,000 videos later. And I'm telling y'all, man, I built that. I built it. And at the end of the day, you can build something too. That's the point. I didn't think I could. Here we are. And maybe if I put in a little more effort, we'd be doing a lot better, but that's the point. We build toward the confidence necessary to do whatever we need to do, whatever it is. If it's going to work and starting a new process there, you can do it. If it's getting in shape, you can do it, because you already know, because of other things that you've built, it's possible. You can do it. You know what I mean? If you have to raise your family in situations that may not be advantageous, maybe you're in a situation where you gotta move to a worse neighborhood. I've seen families have to go through that. Money, you know, job get cut back. Now you gotta leave your home, maybe move into an apartment, stuff like that. You can do it. Not only can you do it, but you can build your way out of there to buy yourself another home. You can build your way out of there to get yourself out of circumstances, because you already seen yourself do it. You already seen it. You already seen what's in you to make it happen. So that's what I want to encourage people, man. I'm starting to realize that. I'm already built enough to know it ain't out of the game when it comes to certain disadvantages. The Lord gave me exactly what He wanted me to have, and if He was done with me, it would be over with. There would be nothing else to say. It wouldn't be no life left to live. So with that being said, He put a day in front of me with challenges in front of me. Maybe you got to file for bankruptcy or something. Heck, maybe I got to file for bankruptcy or something, but that ain't the point. The point is, maybe you have to do something that's absolutely against you. Maybe you got to do a bid. Maybe you got to be in jail for a couple of years, maybe longer. I don't know, but the point is, the strength of what it is that you already built should give you the ability to believe that you can get through this and endure to win whatever battle you need to win. That's 124th Street. It's 20 blocks I've walked already. You know what I mean? But that's the point. It's like, look at me walking like I can say that I've been doing it every day. You would never know that I'm somebody who's been stuck in the house, isolated, afraid to leave the house for no damn real reason. You would never know that. Because now I put myself in a position that I even had that problem. Now I put myself in a position that can't stand to be in the house at this hour. I don't want to be in the house. I don't even know how I did that. That's how I'm looking at it now. You didn't want this fresh air, Brandon? What's wrong with you? You know, that's what I'm saying to myself, my old self from last week. So that's what I want to tell y'all, man. You could build, and if you do it with God, you can do it fast. That's the reality of it. It don't take long as one may anticipate it taking. It may not feel like as long as it may actually be once you start believing in God and letting Him guide you toward making those days better. Just like He slowed these days down for me, He could speed those days up for you. You know what I mean? That's the reality of it. When you do it with Him, He'll make it so that you'll get the timing that you need to get the most out of your life. You're in a bad situation, days go by faster. You're in a good situation, you can't wait for it to, you don't want it to end, He'll slow it down for you. And so that's what I'm here to tell people, man. watching what God is doing in my life. I don't feel like I can't do nothing new just because I've been through difficult times and now I'm doing better. It ain't that. It's that I know I can. Yes, sir. Hawthorne Boulevard. I can't say I do, man. I'm not from out here, but yeah, man. I think it's behind us, maybe on the other side. I'm not sure though. I don't want to get in the wrong direction. But yeah, man, that's one of those things. I'm telling y'all, like, if you built something already and you need to know that you can build again, you've already seen it, man. You've already seen it. You don't have to lie to yourself telling you that you're not strong enough. You ain't got to listen to that voice telling you can't do it. It's a liar. That voice don't know nothing about your capabilities. It knows nothing about what it is you can do. You know what I'm saying? Let that voice inside of you that's positive tell you that you can do it. It's very possible that you'll handle your business, even if that business is pulling teeth out. If you need to do it, the Lord made you equipped to do it. And if it ain't meant to do, then he made you strong enough to not need to. How about that? It's a lot of stuff we think we need to do in this life. The world will tell us we need to do, but the stronger thing for us to do is to not do something that they're saying or whatever the case. I promise you, the Lord is telling me that he didn't equip anybody that I'm talking to with the inability to handle what it is that they're going through. I promise you that. If you got something that's ahead of you, maybe you're about to be in a position that, you know, may not be so favorable, whatever. We ain't speaking nothing to existence, but that you will be ready. It's truth, my friends. It's truth. It's not possibility. It's not maybe. It is fact. And as you see yourself go through it, you will realize how much stronger you'll become because of it. That strength will be real to you, just like me walking down the street right now. And so that's what I'm telling you, man. Believe in yourself. Learn to trust that your works have proven your capability already. And if you haven't built anything, my friends, well, this is why you do. This is why you start. And don't think for 1 second that doing what you're capable of doing can't help you get that confidence to do things that you're not. So start something that's easy. That's what I tell you. And don't be afraid to have woken up being someone who hasn't accomplished anything. I spent a long time in my life being that person. A long time. And I did not quit on life. I did not look at myself as someone who was incapable of reaching up and doing some things. Maybe I had taken some tumbles. Maybe I had failed. Maybe I had some disadvantages. Maybe I just didn't believe. Whatever the case may be, I promise you, starting that process will give you that confidence. And when you have that thing that you could look at and say, yeah, that's my strength, it from there will turn into that confidence. And so for me, I tell you, it don't take much to build. Start with praying for someone. Next week, add a second person to that list. The third week, add a third person to that list. At that time, you would have done something. At that time, you would have built something. I'm telling you, that's all it takes. What if you can't? Because somebody may not be able to move. Maybe they are literally in a position to where they're only able to hear what I'm saying. But they need that confidence to be able to get through the next day. They need to be able to see themselves building something, but maybe they don't have access to their faculties in any way. I'm telling you, this is how you do it. You start praying for your nurse, pray for your doctor, pray for the next nurse. Pray. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what it is. Nobody's exempt. No consciousness is exempt from what it is that I'm saying here. Because we can all build a prayer list that can give us the confidence to allow us to know we can build something else. To give us the confidence to know that we can endure something hard. We can build, man. Maybe you can do a little more. Maybe you can start by working out a little bit. Maybe you can get on the floor and do one push-up. Give yourself a week. Do a push-up tomorrow. Maybe you don't feel like doing it tomorrow. You don't feel strong enough to do it tomorrow. Try to do it the next day. Build. You'll get that. If you can't do nothing but a half a push-up, that's okay. Maybe push-ups ain't your thing. Maybe it's a crunch. One stomach crunch or 2 stomach crunches. Build. That build will give you the confidence and the determination necessary to know that you can endure. That's what it's about. To know that you can take on a little more than you did yesterday. That's the point. Just a little more. Maybe not a lot, but by the time you get to where you're going, you're gonna be taking on a lot more than you think. And then from there, the ability to build from there. That's all it takes, man. It's a little bit of building. So that's what I'm trying to tell people, man. Don't worry about your situation. Don't worry about your circumstances. Don't think you cannot do it. You will. Don't think you'll find yourself in a position where you cannot build anything, because I promise you, I just showed you can. I just showed you. And by way of myself, I showed you that I can do it. So that's what I'm here to tell you, man. It's a good day thus far. I believe that things are going to get better for not only myself, but yourself as well. And I think when you get to where you're going, you'll be happy that you did what I'm suggesting here, because I know I'm happy I just did what my friend suggested me to do to help myself finally. You know, just getting out the house, walking around, and being the person I want to be finally. It takes some time, but you can do it. And that's the point. So yeah, that's what's on my mind, you guys. I don't know when I'm gonna turn back around and go the other way. I'll probably just keep on walking, man, honestly. I feel good. I ain't got no struggles in my mind in regards to staying on this process. I just want to make sure I'm not using idle time and not handle business that needs to be done. You know, I think this message was important. I think it was purposeful, and I think the Lord has a plan for that for all of y'all. So that's what I want to say, man. I appreciate everybody for watching BDF 44.